The happier you are, you will get many advantages in your life. The first, of course, will be health benefits. Happier people are healthier people. What the Vedas said all along, modern science is proving it. Happier people have healthier hearts. They are less liable to cardiac arrests. Happier people have a greater ability to bear with stress, which means their emotional personality is more resilient. And in these pandemic times, it's important to note, happier people have stronger immunities. Now for immunity, you take a vaccine, then after 6 months, then it has mutated, so you take a booster dose, then after 6 months, you take another booster dose. But there's a more powerful way of doing it, which is become a happier person. So scientists like Sorota, etc., his companions, they did a study. They would give a person a pathogen pill, a minor pathogen, and then check the antibody response through the saliva. And the person also had to fill a questionnaire to evaluate on that day how happy he or she was. And this would be done week after week after week for a whole sample of people. And the results were very clear. The day people were happier, their antibody response was much better. And if there are so many benefits, health benefits of happiness, does that mean happier people live longer? Actually, they do. This was also observed. There is a very famous monastery called the School Sisters of Notre Dame. It's a monastery for Christian nuns. So nuns in the monastery who were born before the year 1914, while in the monastery they had been instructed to maintain autobiographical journals on a regular basis. And recently researchers got hold of these autobiographies and they analyzed them to understand how happy this nun was. Which is quite easy to see for psychologists. And how long did this nun live? The results were so revealing. The happiest quartile of nuns, 90% of them lived beyond the age of 85. The unhappiest quartile, unhappiest 25% of the nuns, only 34% of them crossed the age of 85. If you want to live a longer life, then you need to come for all 7 days of the science of happiness. But one question can arise here, like Swamiji, if I become a happier person now, can I reverse actually the aging process? Yes, this has also been scientifically proved. One maverick psychologist called Ellen Langer, in the year 1979, she conducted a study. So Ellen Langer offered 75-year-old gents a free retreat for 3 weeks. But there were conditions. You will not bring anything except basic requirements. No books, magazines, periodicals, journals. When they reached the retreat center, the environment of 1959 was recreated, 20 years earlier. Magazines and papers were referring to Eisenhower, and they were also instructed all the talk will be about 1959. The consequence was that these 75-year-olds, they suddenly started feeling like they were 55 years old. And after 3 weeks of living in that mindset, I'm a younger, happier person. What do you think? On all physical parameters of aging, their age had actually reversed. Their hand grip had become stronger. Their short-term memory had become better. Their cognitive attention had improved. Even their cholesterol had reduced, etc., etc. Flexibility had improved. So this just went to prove the importance of mind over matter. When your mind is in a more joyful state, it results in your bodily organs enhancing their function to your benefit. At the Baylor Medical Center in Dallas, Texas, this was observed for arthroscopic surgery. Arthroscopic surgery is done for the knees. 3 little incisions are made and laparoscopic tools are inserted. Little microscopes to see what's going on inside. Now, once the incisions are made and the instruments are inserted, the doctors then choose between 3 alternatives. The first alternative is with the help of their instruments to clean up the knees. The second one is just use water spray to spray clean. And the third option is to do nothing, just tie it up. Now these doctors, they thought of a trick. For the third category of patients whom they were just tying up, not doing anything, they gave them, when they became conscious again, a full description of how they had scraped it clean, and now in a little while they find that there would be no problem in their knees. So these patients, they went back with the mindset that my knee is now much better, my knee is going to function much better, and after 1 year, in fact, their knee condition had improved. And this has resulted in what is known in medical science as the placebo effect. What is a placebo? It's a sugar pill. But the patient is told this is the latest wonder drug that has just been developed by this big pharma company and tested on 10,000 people. You are so fortunate to get this. It has just now been approved by FDA. The person takes that blank pill thinking, I am getting the medicine. So, thousands of times over, it has been proved that the placebo is 55% as effective as the actual medicine. What does that mean? You know, somebody is taking a medicine for balding, and somebody is taking a sugar pill but thinking I am taking a medicine, and that person is getting 55% the effect of the medicine merely by thinking. So how does this, what is the validates this placebo is actually the reverse placebo. Now in the case of placebo, you are telling the patient that this is the medicine while it is not. And the reverse placebo is where you tell the patient this is poison. Well, actually it is not. But the patient is convinced I'm getting poison. It was tried in Japan, where students were told how terrible a thing poison ivy is. And then they were blindfolded, and it was not poison ivy but ordinary leaf paste that was rubbed there. And out of 12 patients of the students, 8 of them developed the symptoms of poison ivy, either rashes or itching or severe reactions, because the mind was convinced, oh my God, I'm getting poison. So this concept of the placebo is not some hocus pocus magical phenomenon. It is a robust validation of the power of our thoughts over the body. And this has a very important learning for us. If you can just change your thoughts to optimism, positivity, and hope, imagine its potency in making you a healthier person. Dr. JKYog is the principal researcher of the Mind-Body Lab in Stanford. She did this experiment with housemates in hotels. So the hotel mates doing the household work out there, they have very menial kind of ordinary, undistinguished kind of work, lifting rugs, vacuuming, etc., cleaning the linen. They did this experiment in 17 hotels. They would gather all the housemates and tell them, see, to be healthy, exercise is so necessary. They would explain to them, teach them. Housemates would nod their head, exercise is so necessary. Then they would tell them, are you doing any exercise? And 95% of them coming from low and middle incomes, where do we have the time? There is no question of it. We are so unfortunate, we cannot do exercise. Now to half of the housemates of that hotel, they would take them separately. And he explained to them how they were getting all the physical exercise necessary through that cleaning work, through the vacuuming, through the lifting up of those heavy mattresses, etc. And they would say, really? Our work is so beneficial? Now the researcher came back after 3 months and checked the physicals of both the groups. And the group whose attitude towards the work changed, oh my God, I'm getting so many physical benefits, they actually started benefiting greatly from it. Their cholesterol had reduced, their waistline had reduced, etc. They were still doing the same exercise, but they were just feeling so much happier about it. So what I wish to say is that we have always worked under this paradigm. If I can become a healthier person, then I will be a happier person. Right? But I am telling you the reverse. If you can become a happier person, you will then be a healthier person. Again, in the field of work, we think, if I can succeed in my profession, I will be so happy. But I am going to tell you the reverse. If you can be happier, you have a greater chance of succeeding in your profession. Now, despite all these benefits of happiness, we are still not finding it. So what is holding us back?